This is the, I forgot the name of the hotel, but it's a very nice hotel. We got our many nice people that we met here. Hi, Stella, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Is my name? She said she was missing her name, so I don't know.
Are we all on candid camera?
No, I won't.
Watch out.
Here at the Sealer Center, mostly with these birds. Before I get started, I do want to go over a couple of things just to give you guys like a little heads up. One is a safety sort of thing. Once these birds start coming out, we won't be able to go in and out of this room. I also have a friend who is pretty darn used to people, so he might be like, really willing to come out and kind of get near the audience. Don't worry about it, just stay seated, don't move around too much, I'll come get him. He is one of the most social of our ambassador birds, so but that's why he gets to come today, because he really enjoys programs like this. The birds who are coming with me, I asked them a question. Hey, do you want to come out? Is this okay? What I'm looking for is a response from that, and they can make it very clear. Either they're like, absolutely not, no thank you. Sometimes they'll literally shake their head, no. And they can walk away, and that's an okay thing for them to do. That is a communication that we're having a dialogue. And they can fly away, face masks and these horns that get a little bit bigger and brighter. So we'll see if Mr. Rain wants to hang out. I haven't actually taken him. You guys watched the Alaska Animal Rescue Program? No. Okay, cool. I like to preface it with that because Rain was a story on that. You want to come out? Good job! Let's go! Come on, Nugget. Yeah, I got your plate. Come on.
Take the paper.
Mr. Pants.
What are you eating?
I have some small fish called silver sides, and they're really one of his favorites. Come on, Nugget. No? He's not sure yet. That's okay. I'll wait him out a little bit and we'll see. They actually just got their burrows closed yesterday, so he might be feeling a little bit nervous still from that. They're a little grumpy. I have to be closer to the 5-pound mark, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a bird of this size, it's pretty darn heavy. Do you guys have a guess as to why these birds on average are heavy for like, get out here? Hello, Nugget! He is actually going flightless right now. So he is only a year old. Now hold your feather. Hold the feather. Now it's my finger, the feather. So he is only a year old. This is Mr. Han Solo. So he doesn't necessarily look exactly like the tufted puffin in that picture. And that's because he's a juvenile, and next year he'll start growing in those tufts just like his parents do. But he's starting a little bit. If you look at his face, he has some cute little freckles going on. And he is super curious. So sometimes I'll give him food, and sometimes we'll give him toys. Honestly, some of the best toys for these kiddos tends to be feathers and the things. They really like to pick them up and hold them. So this is this is a donut fish right now, so everybody's super excited about this fish. But it can change seasonally. So in the wintertime, they'll be going after like, bigger fish, but right now in the summer, I'm gonna try and give him some of this food because he's showing me he's extra hungry. And then caretakers, so that when we do have asks like this, we can kind of give them the big guns and show them a good time. Come in. No? You gonna hang out for a little while? All right, Nugget. You can hang out. With that? Yeah. To the tufted puffins. They're actually more closely related to the tufted puffins than the horned puffins are. So I do have one of these guys with me. And I will bring sort of call, but these guillemots really have a very melodious sort of tweet, tweet, tweet. And they can be some of the loudest and most Napoleon-like of those birds out there. So even though they're little, they are ones that a lot of people mistake for penguins. So they are the ones that look and walk the most like penguins of these alcids. These guys are the deepest diving birds that don't really come up to Alaska. So this is my main man, Mr. Klinger. Hey, sir. Good job. So he's showing off those shorter wings I was talking about. So you saw they're not necessarily the length you would necessarily think when you're looking at a bird, but he leaves them that short so that when he's going through the water, they're nice and powerful and help him pull himself through. He's also got a really good chest muscles there. So he's got nice, big chest muscles, and that's also going to help him when he's diving in the water. Other things that he's got are his nice little... He's showing off for you guys. Oh yeah, you're going to show off a lot, huh, sir? There we go. This one can hold you. The other one's a little more wiggly, huh? That is called a rampatheca. So all of our puffins actually grow that in. They just kind of look a little bit different based on the species. But that comes in the spring and stays around for the whole summer. So she's talking about his little rhino horn, guys. It's actually keratin, so like our nails and our... That's why I always try to aim him backwards. He got me last week. I don't know if you can see. There's still a little remnants. I was trying to clean it up, but oh well, alas. Bird poop is surprisingly sticky. So that little rampatheca, the bill covering, actually grows in the summer, spring, and stays around for the summer. And it's got at least a little bit to do with breeding plumage. So all of this, his whiskers and that rampatheca are all making him look super cute to other auklet ladies. So that actually fluoresces under UV light, and birds definitely see in a different spectrum than we do as people. So we do think that has something to do with that. These, the tufted puffins, and for us when we're going out there and doing our counts and making sure everybody's there, that we can just be like, yep, you got a brown band, you're Mr. Klinger. But yeah, he definitely has a very specific personality. No nibbles, thank you. Yeah. Generation, yeah.
To go 600 feet, do they have to decompress to come back up?
So they don't necessarily breathe in the same way that we do. Birds actually is kind of a little different, which is pretty cool once you start picking up on it. So our long-tailed ducks kind of have what I like to characterize as a bugle, and they like to talk back and forth to each other quite frequently, so you might get to hear that as well. These eiders in the spring, actually even in the late winter, will actually coo. So they can pump up those air sacs we were just talking about, 1 and 2, which are way up here near their throat. And I like to call them like little bodybuilders because they get so inflated, they look like they're getting ready to win Mr. Universe or something, and they actually coo. So it's like a whoo, which is really, really cute, and they're doing that to impress their ladies. The harlequin ducks down here sound like little mice, so there's like a little squeaky noise that they make, beep, 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 back and forth. So we have 2, Mickey and Minnie, because when we see a theme, we stick to it, and then so the reason for that is where they're nesting. So the ladies are going to be nesting out in the open. So all of the ladies tend to be varying shades of brown because she wants to blend into her environment. He has a different strategy out in the summertime. He's trying to look super awesome so that she'll choose him. So these guys are not monogamous at all. The eiders will send off islands. We are one of only 2 facilities that house red-legged kittiwakes, and we're the only facility that has had success with red-legged kittiwakes raising babies. So these are pretty cute. Kittiwake actually means one who talks a lot, and they will live up to that name. They will talk to you. We also have some shorebirds. So these are the only ones who don't really like to go swimming too often. She has these nice long legs, these black oyster catchers, and she's going to be wading along the tide line. So she's using her nice long legs and her long bill to probe in the rocks, and she's looking for mussels and clams and little things that are going on in the tide pool for her to eat. This bill actually continuously grows, so that as she's probing, she keeps getting more and more. Because if you guys have felt any of the rocks, someone's upstairs, and our 70 birds downstairs. So there's another flock of eiders downstairs too that we also manage. But we get to do some fun stuff sometimes. go hiking. This was actually, he got to help out with the albatross in Hawaii here. And we know this because we track it pretty closely. You guys have a guess?
Daylight.
Exactly, daylight. So these birds, one of their biggest triggers for all these changes is going to be that sunlight. So photo period, amount of sun per 24 hours is a big factor for these guys, especially in Alaska. In July we have pretty much 18 hours of sunlight, and then in February we have 3. Are you gonna play with it? No, we eat it. Oh, we try to build stack. So because he's a little kiddo, he is learning how to build stack right here. Sorry, sir, that was rude. So he should be holding this fish to the side, but it seems a thing that all the juveniles do is when they first start to hold these fish in their mouth, get used to bill stacking, which is when they have multiple fishes in their mouth and they would be taking it back to a puffling in the burrow. There you go. That's do you guys have a guess as to why they poop that far? Exactly. Yeah. So they scoot out the back of their burrow and they're able to poop out the front, and it keeps their burrow nice and clean. All right, Nugget. So this is bill stacking. He's doing a decent job at it right now. We'll see what he does with them. Are you gonna eat them? You can drop them. You don't know. But when they're going in, these feathers are actually filled with blood. So if we were to handle them incorrectly during this time, that could be a big deal for these birds. All right, so I mentioned these guys are going to be monogamous. So to go that extra mile, this like 15 feet is really where it's at. Some of them are like 3 feet to get to the burrow. That sounds more ideal. It's okay, me too. Yeah, that's what I thought, sir. Let's get you ambitious. So Rain has a little bit notorious habit of hanging out in the kennel, even after he has been in the kennel for a long time. So you can see his nice white belly here. His beautiful horns. I said good job, sir. You're doing great. Yeah, good boy. Good wings. Good job. I didn't even ask.
How do they use their wings to dive?
So they literally fly underwater. They pull water. He will flap those wings and he'll pull himself under the water. And they cruise along at pretty good clip there. So they're hunting those fish they need to be speedy. And they are, for sure. Yeah, do you guys have any last questions in these last few minutes? Go ahead.
Is it the myrrh that just puts the egg?
So cute. I know. Thank you, Judy. Look at all the
They're
fish.
going
Oh my God.
upstream, probably.
You think God would have made it easier for them to go downstream?
Stream. Upstream. They are big. Wow.
Here we see the salmons. Oh yeah. Going the wrong way, huh? Wow.
Right here.
Wow. Okay.
I do it for the girls. Maybe that'll change. There's a bird. Okay. Darn. And some of the folks paint the
Look like home, Jane?
See, this is the store where they make and sell the hulu. Fascinating. Stella, what else do you buy, Stella? We already have a hulu at home, so. Stella, you buy more cars?